Morning, viewers around the world. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwa, and you are tuned into News Echoes. News Echo for Global Africa. Today, Wednesday, 26th of April, 2022. A lot is happening. We are getting updates, but we give you our views, and you decide on which part to tread on. So this morning we're talking about Nigerian students and Nigerians in Sudan and their experience. This morning we're talking about Buhari, the president of Nigeria, the Republic of Nigeria, asking for forgiveness as he leaves office. This morning we're talking about a lot of things happening around the world, and mainly the African, as it concerns Africa. But doing this are my colleagues, my coordinators in other parts of the world too. From far away Lagos, Nigeria, is our beautiful diva, Bidi Nana. Bidi, you're welcome to News Echoes.
Thank you, Massive Man. Good morning. Good morning, everyone in the studio, our viewers all around the world. Good morning. Good to have you again today. Let's do it like always.
Let's do it like always. And doing it like always is our great colleague and brother, Sir George Chukwu, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Sir George, welcome to News Echoes this Wednesday morning.
Good morning, Matt Godwin and the Bidi Nana viewers around the world. Once again, welcome to our today's show. We will inform you about the current things happening around the world, and especially in Nigeria, our country. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Sir George and Bidi. A lot is going on. But one major thing happening is the crisis in Sudan. Let's listen to this video as we come back to the discussion on Sudan.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Jose Idris Tafio, mostly known as Fawzia throughout social media. I'm a Nigerian student studying in Khartoum, Sudan. As you all know, there is a terrible war happening in Khartoum, Sudan. In Sudan, actually. And it's always getting worse by the day. So the day before yesterday, we flee from Khartoum, me and my family, because my sister was sick and there are no hospitals. We flee from Khartoum and we came to the border. On our way, we saw a lot of Sudanese fleeing Khartoum. What of us, the Nigerian students? The day before yesterday, by 10 o'clock p.m. at night, we reached the border of Ethiopia and Sudan in Galabat. We slept there, and yesterday we entered the border, the immigration office of Sudan. And they said they are going to stamp the exit visas for us, Sudanese border. And then the Ethiopian border, they told us they are not going to let us pass unless we have our visa to enter Ethiopia, and we don't have it. The Nigerian embassy in Sudan is really trying their best. We talked to them, they sent a letter for us. And then the people at the border said they are not going to let us pass unless it's a visa. So they sent us back to Gadarif, which is another location near the border. We went to the consulate and we asked for the visa, and they said they are not going to stamp visa for us. They are only stamping it for Sudanese. So, Al-Muhim, right now we are stranded in Gadarif. Alhamdulillah for the Sarkin Hausawa, Ambassador Hashim Shu'aib Usman. He connected us with the Sarkin Hausawa of Gadarif, Mai Martaba Harun Atta.
Okay, as you can hear from the young lady, that's some update situation report in Sudan. It's a catastrophe in Sudan. Nigerians also in Sudan are caught up in that war-torn situation. It's been 12 days of heavy fighting, and hundreds have been killed. We have about, from our record here, we have about 5,000 to 6,000 Nigerians in Sudan, and they are very, very ready to get out for evacuation. This conflict is between, as you all know, is between loyal forces, first to the army, the Sudan army, and also loyal forces to his former deputy, who now commands a heavily armed paramilitary rapid support force, RSF, they call it. So the RSF are a group of militants that came out from the Janjaweed militant group, and they were back in the time of Omar Bashir. They've been wreaking havoc on Sudan. So this is what is happening. What's our concern here now is the Nigerians in Sudan. Now you want to ask, how come we have a lot of Nigerians in Sudan? I mean, what are people doing in Sudan? You might ask. Sudan has a very good tertiary institution. Sudan has a lot also to offer. Take note also that WTO headquarter, one of the major laboratories in Africa where viruses and all these things are tested is in Sudan. So Sudan is a strategic country for a lot of things, WHO, for gold and all it has. So it's sad. This is gentlemen, let me start with you, Sir George. Your following situation in Sudan. What's it you have there? What are you seeing?
Well, the main concern we have right now are basically the students.
Mm-hmm.
The students that are suffering. Look at this young lady, what she was just saying. Isn't it a sad state that Nigeria, as a global recognized country, cannot even get our acts together to evacuate our own people from a country like Sudan when war breaks? This has been going on for the longest with this administration. It happened in Ukraine, the same story, no changes. During the pandemic, the same thing happened, even like here in Canada. Put yourself together to take care of your own citizens. They're not able to. And this is the reason why we are saying it's not about who is in government, but how active and how ready are you to deal with emergency situations like this. Muhammadu Buhari is apologizing. What would the apology do for all the students, all these young ladies that are experiencing such catastrophic happenings around them? The fear that is gripping them, the families that are stuck. She's moving from one area to another. Who is it that is taking care of the affairs with these other countries like Ethiopia and other places? Just imagine how deplorable this government has been. And yet they're telling us that they were also voted in again. Because we are voting in ill administration, unprepared administration that concentrates only in stealing our money. That's the only thing their concentration is taking our money from our country to other countries. How come that the government cannot get themselves together in a state of emergency like this in another country? Just tell me, what dignity does Nigerians have abroad? What trust do we have in our government that if anything happens to us, somebody will speak for us? It is so sad. It is so sad.
It's so sad. The Foreign Affairs Minister, Nigerian Foreign Affairs Minister Godfrey Onyema, said that the Sudanese that are stranded in the Nigerians that are stranded in Sudan will be evacuated by, a problem they are facing again is having them come to a safe place. So because a lot of airports are shut down, so they are looking at bringing them with vehicles to a safe place, and it's not easy to really come to. BD, what are you?
We said this last week. Well, but why is it that other countries are able to move their people out and we're not?
Yes,
no, because let's face facts.
Yes, an airline has come up to say they will help. BD, what are you seeing from your corner? Sudan and Nigerians are stuck there. These are our citizens. These are our people. These are our families. What are you observing?
Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Mark, what is happening in Sudan, the Nigerian situation and the Nigerian students and Nigerian citizens in Sudan has showed one thing: the breakdown of Nigerian as a nation. Now, this war did not start yesterday. It did not start today. It's been ongoing, not until the Nigerians there, mostly the students, we have more students there, start crying for help. Now, in a normal situation, in a normal country, when there is a war in any country, it is the duty of the country to look out for its citizen. You don't need to wait for those citizens to beg for rescue. Now, you didn't want to do anything. They begged for rescue. And now you're telling us, Nigerian governments have the gut to come and tell Nigerians that they can't rescue Nigerians in Sudan. Now, let me tell us, was it not early last year, 2 years ago, at the heat of, that was 2 years ago, at the heat of Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria, USA came and rescued an American here. And everybody was wondering, how did they do it? They did not mind anything that was going on. They risked and came and rescued those USA. We saw it happen in this country. Now, Nigerian government came out making excuses. I said that was not enough. They said the airspace is being burnt. They can't rescue Nigerians, but other countries are rescuing their citizens. Now, the assistant legal advisor on foreign affairs to Muhammadu Buhari, Abeke Arewa, left her job and went Twitter dragging on social media. She has always been known by that. I wonder how, on which criteria we appoint people in this country. Somebody with that kind of position, Abeka has attained in Nigeria, shouldn't have time, exchanging words with people. Because you're a you're a public figure, people will come after you. You represent the people. Nobody, you shouldn't expect everybody to applaud you. You should be able to take criticism. But it has been in record that Abeke don't know how to take criticism. He's known with abusive words. In this country, we know how he was calling somebody a drug addict, a cultist. You've committed all crime and now you're coming for rescue. Coming from a public figure. Now, they say they can't rescue Nigerians. They are not even feeling what they are going through. Now, another man who is in the habit of rescuing Nigerians, Alin Onyama, the owner of Airpeace, now have donated that he will go and bring back Nigerians, evacuate Nigerians, if they can get back to Ethiopia. And now, another thing is this. We call ourselves the giants of Africa. We portray ourselves as the largest black nation in the world. But our citizens were able to find their way to the border of Ethiopia, and they refused to give them visa. Can you imagine that? And that speaks one thing, that we are not what we claim we are. We don't even have regard in our own continent, Africa. Do you understand? Now, Onyema has said, I'll go and rescue these people. He doesn't care. His own is that to make sure that Nigerians' lives are saved. Now, out of shame, out of eating what they have vomited, they are doing what I call leg dragging. They are now. I was reliably informed that some people advise them not to accept Onyema's offer. Onyema has been doing, if you calculate it, Liberia, South Africa, Ukraine, he has been doing it. He's not doing it for anything. He's doing it as a humanity to save his people. So, they are now ganging up to refuse Onyema's offer. Well, it's to his own good. Do you understand? So, it speaks one thing, that our country as a Nigerian is broken. We don't even feel the pain our people are going in Liberia. Those are young children out there. You don't consider the trauma their parents will be going in Nigeria.
It's broken, but it can be fixed. George, yes, she said, Diva Vidi said something very strong. As of yesterday, it was still sketchy if Airpeace will be allowed into Ethiopia to pick the stranded Nigerians. And it's funny that we're having this discussion of Airpeace going or Airpeace not going. But Airpeace has said he wants to go and bring his people, his citizens, his fellow citizens back to Nigeria, to a safe place. and the argument is going back and forth. Now you begin to wonder why are they playing politics on such a thing? Somebody has generously say, I'm going to help, and now there is this back and forth on it. George, are you following that? Onyema, Alan Onyema of Airpeace.
Well, the problem we have in Nigeria is like we have a lot of empty vessels that really do not know what the questions are, and they're trying to give you answers. Number one, how effective are the Nigerian embassies around the world? How coordinated are they? Are they able to do their job when really the time calls for it in such a way that they can interact with one another, interact with other governments? Because what you're seeing here is nothing but an absolute dissolution of, they don't know their head from their tail. And most of the time, their concentration is on things that does not matter. So that's the problem you have. Okay, the man comes out now and offers, I will give you the plane to go. Can you supply me with military men to safeguard the plane and safeguard the people? Can we communicate with the government that is in charge of the area where we are coming to get our own citizens out? Do you have any of those preparation made? They don't. So what now? They're going to be fighting with somebody who is offering solution to them, because they feel like if they accept that solution, it will make them look even more deplorable than they are already in the face of everybody. Look at Abike calling somebody, that they are, what is it again? They are demon possessed and all kinds of things. This is a woman that is supposed to be Her Excellency and honorable, can't even control her own emotions. You're fighting with people that are letting you do your job. But all you have to do is not to concentrate and let revenge be the success. Let your success be the revenge against such people. But you're fighting tit for tat, bringing yourself down to their level. They have the right to call you up if you are inefficient, and don't know what to do. So that's what
anyway.
we're
Thank you, George. If they are hearing us, a lot of people are watching right now. Wherever you are, government officials, Federal Republic of Nigeria government officials, if you're hearing this, let's leave the politics. Let's leave the argument. Let's go out there and get our people. Our people are stranded in Sudan. Sudan war is raging very hard. As at this morning, about the death indices has increased almost 500 and something, and 1,000 people are wounded. The fighting is going on. So we don't need dialogue. We don't need discussions. We don't need anything. We need to bring our people, our Nigerian citizens. These people are there. They left Nigeria. They had the Nigerian passport. So taking that Nigerian passport means they have the allegiance to Nigeria, and Nigeria should come to their aid now that they are in need. So thank you very much, George. Thank you.
Massive Mike, before we go, yes. I want to make a little suggestion. I read this morning that Nigerian government has concluded plans to hire some buses to move.
That's what they said.
Here. Now, what we should understand is that during the time of war, you understand, moving in that environment by yourself, it could be more risky than staying at the place.
Yeah,
you understand. Now, I hope moving the students on a bus on those routes, I hope their life is safe. I hope they won't take them into another worse risk. That's just my own concern. And Nigeria Embassy, this is the time they have to be at the peak of their job. Be everywhere you know that you make yourself available for Nigerians, even at the border. Do you understand? So that if there is need for visa, you can quickly stamp their passports. If there is need for negotiation, you can speak on their behalf. This is the time we need to be at the top of our job to make sure that we secure and save the lives of Nigerians. That's what I want to chip in.
That's a very good one to chip in. Thank you very much, BD. Thank you, George. Yes, we're moving on. This is news, SSM News Echo today, Wednesday, and issues are going on. A lot is happening. Moving on, George. Yes, on Friday, while speaking at an event marking the El Fitri, the Muslim end of Ramadan festival, Buhari said Nigerians should forgive him in any way he has hurt them. He said that all those I have hurt, in his words, all those I have hurt, I ask that they pardon me. God gave me an incredible opportunity to serve the country. We're all humans. If I've hurt some people along the line of my service to the country, I ask that they pardon me. These are his words, George. Our President Muhammadu Buhari. Will you pardon somebody that intentionally inflicted pain on you, George?
Well, where there is no wrongdoing, there is no forgiveness.
Mm.
The point about the matter is not about whether we are forgiven or not forgiven, or whether you're asking for forgiveness or not. According to our own holy book, Jesus himself said that if somebody wrongs you and can apologizes and repents, you forgive them from their heart. But what we're seeing here is nothing but politics. What we're seeing here is nothing. The man had an opportunity to redeem himself, to be the worst administration in history of Nigeria. He had that great opportunity and he was heading towards that direction to redeem himself by allowing a free and fair election in our country. But that opportunity, he missed it woefully. So I am so sorry, Buhari, you are forgiven if you're asking for forgiveness, but that does not undo the mess that you have created in our nation, and it is still ongoing. It is very, 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 go and ask the forgiveness of those that died because of hunger, because of the economy of the nation has been so messed up. Go and ask the forgiveness of those that have lost their businesses because of your administration. Go and ask for those that have been killed because of insecurity. Those are the people you ought to be asking for forgiveness. Because as we are today, there are so many catastrophic mess that you created that is still ongoing today. So for us living, we forgive you if you ask for forgiveness. But I can tell you that the mess that you have created in insecurity, in the economy of our nation has gone so bad right now that people don't even know. Many people died because of the money, the recoloration of the money that you ordered simply because of one individual, and in the last minute you join the gang again. So you go and ask their forgiveness. As for me, yeah, you're forgiven. But let's see what history will say about you eventually, and especially with your own gang member, Mahmoud Yakubu, who brought such a shame to the democratic process in Nigeria. That's all I can say about that.
That's all that you can say about that. BD, he's asking for the Federal Republic of Nigeria president is asking for forgiveness. In some of the words again, he said, I think it's a good conscience for me to say goodbye to you and to thank you all for tolerating me for almost 8 years. I don't know. How do you say this, BD? What's your opinion? I mean, 8 years, yes, but half of those 8 years was spent doing nothing, sleeping on sick bed and staying out of the country and not having too much relevance in policy making inside Nigeria. Relevance in policy making. I mean, what's the use of having a president and you don't have any impact in policy making? People just bring up things, put it to you, and you run with it. George just talked about the currency change. Now that currency change came for a time. Now we're not talking about that again. And some people have suffered for this. Some people have died for this. So was so many other policies that didn't go well. With the Ministry of Finance, with the Ministry of all of the ministries actually. And today we're even talking about the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that is not living up to what it should do to its citizen caught up in a war. So BD, what's your take for the president with his act, his forgiveness plea?
Massive Mike, Buhari is not begging Nigerians. Buhari is mocking Nigerians. If you listen to that his speech, he said, I contested severally. 3 times I was in the courts until technology came for my rescue. The same technology that came for your rescue, you assumed office and destroyed it. Buhari is not begging Nigerians for only forgiveness because Buhari have every opportunity. Remember, before election, early 2022, Buhari came out and asked for this forgiveness. His wife did so. If they actually want Nigerians to forgive them, what they would have done is getting this country into a path. Nigeria has never been this divided before. Even in the time of war, Biafran war and Nigerian war, Nigeria has never been this divided the way they are now. Nigeria is so divided, so hates itself, so fight within itself. Under Buhari, who called himself Mr. Integrity, who came to fight corruption, not knowing that he is corruption embedment. Buhari is not begging for Nigeria because if he wants to beg for our forgiveness, he should start by going to INEC chairman and tell him, go back and re-announce all the wrong election you conducted. He will go to judiciary and tell them to be upright in their judgments. Even if I remember in this studio, we talked about it, and I told Sir George, don't worry, what is in place, nobody can. You understand? Look at if Buhari and sister Mr. George so spoke good about him then. He said, apart from not being able to govern Nigeria, not having the ability, that he's a nice person. But what happened? He has disappointed people like Sir George. He has disappointed a lot of Nigerians who believe in him. Buhari is not mocking, he's not begging anything. He knows what he's doing, and he's still doing it. How can you come and say we should forgive you? And you impose on us, your party, for 8 years that subjected Nigeria into hardship, into division, into killings. What we have not seen over the years, we have seen it under your regime. And you come now and say we should forgive you. There's nothing to forgive. And let me tell Buhari, it's about me, it's not a personal thing. Nigerians will never forgive him. So let's, we are very pretentious people. We are very religious people. We try to please the world. We try to say things to get accepted by the general public. So we try to say things to fit in. The truth is that Nigerians will never forgive Buhari. Now, when we say it, say, because you're from the south, even his own northerners, Nigerians will never forgive Buhari because of what he did to Nigerians. As still doing. If you want our forgiveness, you still have 1 month to rewrite the wrong he has written in this country. Call INEC, call judiciary. Do it and let's know that you truly want that forgiveness. And then we'll start talking. But by now, we are not talking because we know you're mocking us.
We know you're mocking us. Strong words again, BD. You're following up. You're giving us real good updates there. We'll go on a short break, gentlemen, and when we return, it's getting very hot. There's commotion in LP Labour Party, 2 fractions, and it doesn't look good. Also, we'll be looking at the return of the presidential candidate for APC, the presidential elect, as they call him. Some people call him presidential select. He's back in the country. We'll be looking at all this and more. Join us, News Echo, with me, Mark Godwin Iwejuwan, and Sir George from Toronto, Canada, BB from Lagos, Nigeria. So we'll be right back.
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming to pass. But I'm telling you, the final solution has been found many years ago in the Bible, because the Bible simply says righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. So I want you to know that we can get solutions to problems in Ukraine, in Russia, in Nigeria, indeed all parts of the world. We need that solution, and the solution is straightforward. Please get a copy of my book. It's the Final Solution by Bishop Shegun Johnson, and you can find it in Kindle, in Amazon. Just type Bishop Shegun Johnson, The Final Solution. It will come. It's very, very small book you can read within 2 hours, but it contains the final solution. Do get a copy. Not getting it is doing disservice to humanity. Don't forget the final solution.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain, to serve with heart and might one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Welcome back to News Echoes, our Wednesday program where we reach out to our global audience. And with me in the studio are my very good friends, colleagues around the world. George from Toronto, Canada, BD, and joining us also from Moscow, Russia is Dr. Godwin Ibe. Dr. Godwin, you're welcome. Welcome to News Echo this beautiful 25th of 26th of April. Dr. Godwin, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay. While we wait for him to join, Sir George, BD, some interesting things are happening in the Labour Party. I don't know if you also monitor that. The Labour Party has urged, as of this morning, the Labour Party urged the tribunal to disregard an action by one fraction, a suspended deputy national chairman of the Labour Party, one Lamidi Apapa. Lamidi Apapa has gone to tell the tribunal to stop every petition by Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate. Now, Labour Party came and refuted that request and said the tribunal should disregard that action. The Labour Party raised an alarm over an action taken by the self-acclaimed fractional chairman of the party. There is a photo on that, and interestingly, we are seeing all this. So, what do you have, BD from Lagos? Tell us what's happening there. That is the Lamidi Apapa on our right hand, on your left hand of your screen, if you're watching, and he's the fraction leader, leader of the Labour Party. And we have also the recognized national chairman, Julius Aburi. And a lot of things are going on there. So, Didi, what do you have? What do you have on this?
Say, what is happening in Labour Party? It's actually a slap to democracy in Nigeria. They are trying to scuttle the democracy process in Nigeria. And that is what has brought us to where we are today. You know, over the 8 years, we've allowed one political party to monopolize the political space, and it has not been healthy for us. And if we allow that to happen again, then we are doomed. Now, apart from this Lamidi going to tribunal to tell them to disregard the petition of Obi against Tinubu, he had earlier approached Obi, telling him to stop any case against Tinubu and go for discussion and settlement. And I think the problem we have in this part of the world is that before we talk to people, we don't on our own take time to analyze the people and their personality and what they represent as a person. You understand? The mistake the Lamidi did was that he has never taken time. And secondly, another mistake we make in this part of the world is that we always view people from our own lens. You know, for the fact that I can do things, this particular thing, and I assume everyone will do it. That's another two mistakes we make in this part of the world. He refused to understand the kind of person Obi is and what he represents as a person. He approached him to stop his case and approached Tinubu for discourse and for settlements. Which Obi, you know, Obi is never, if Obi is a bitter person, he would have taken it out of proportion. He just waved him. Then he now went, and look, let me tell you, whatever Lamid and his co is doing is coming from APC. Sorry, I have to say it. We've noticed that we've seen that they have been paying and positioning people into Labour Party to scuttle whatever Labour Party stand for. All their plans is to dismantle Labour Party. Now they have been pleading for them to discuss. Now you said you won election and there's a case in the courts. Why are you begging for them to withdraw the case? Why are you begging for discourse? Let's go to the courts and discuss it. But no, they wouldn't want that to happen. Now, another thing Nigerians don't understand is that monopolizing power in a country like us, we are just a growing democracy. It's not good and healthy for us. So we should allow a healthy opposition. And that is only way we can checkmate any party in power. But the thing is that majority of stuff, we don't understand it. We just want our person to win from A to Z. And when they win from A to Z, that is when they keep dishing out policies for us based on what they want, not what people want. So what is happening in Labour Party is not far from what APC is doing. They position people in Labour Party to score to, and it's really disheartening. I remember I said earlier here that I won't be surprised that in time to come, Obi and Dati will be the only people standing in Labour Party because they are beginning to buy Labour Party members. They are beginning to buy them. If you want, I'll mention names and people, the amounts some of them has collected. But I won't, because even when you say it and Nigerians, they know it's truth, they'll still question you. How do you know? Do you have data? Do you have proof? But they are beginning to buy off the
Thank you.
Labour Party
Thank you
members.
very much. Thank you very much, Bidi. Sir George, commotion in Labour Party. A so-called Lamidi has come out to say they should stop every petition in the court, every legal case should be on a hold. What are you seeing from your corner? What's there?
Well, you can easily say that in every 12 there is a Judas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's somebody will say money matter is the matter in Nigeria. So you could also see that whether we are alleging it or with like what Bidi is saying or proving it, the handwriting is all over and plain before everybody that they have penetrated them. And this is exactly the sad state that our country has come to, whereby there is no integrity anymore. When money is concerned, everybody is willing to do whatever they can do. They will accept bribe and openly just come and disregard, equity and fairness in situations. So, I mean, I am not so surprised, especially, with all the people that are with him. Look at it, Samuel Akimbade, Benga Daramola, Anselm Arabwe, Abayomi Arabambi, and all the rest of them. They gang together. So, I mean, you can imagine the amount of money they might have given them, because this is an allegation. We don't have any proof to say it, but their action speaks louder than anything else. So, but I tell you one thing, the resiliency of the man that they are fighting against, they have never met before. That man is a man. When he believes in something, come hell or high water, he's going forward. So, they can try all they want to. That's how it is in the world today, and especially in our country. For the very first time, somebody came up to show us that there can be what you call ideological differences in political parties. Not all political parties in name, but in ideology for the first time. So nothing good comes easy. So all we are hoping for is a good Nigerian, a progressive Nigerian, a one Nigeria that will work for everybody, fair and just. That's what we're looking for. So they can do what they want. I don't even pay attention. They're not worthy of, spending time on, as far as I'm concerned.
Dr. Ibe, you're welcome to the program. I hope you can hear me from there. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, dear panelists and viewers, for tuning in.
Yes. Very good. A lot have been said, and we know from Russia, you have your ways of also monitoring situations. Day before yesterday, no, that was on Monday. The presidential candidate, the presidential elect, some people call him presidential select, of APC, presidential elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, came into Nigeria after about 35 days out of the country, and he came in. Let's listen to him in the press release when he came in. Let's listen to this, then we talk about it.
I'm healthy as the sun, and I'm okay.
How prepared are you for May 29?
May 29 is not the calendar. The challenge ahead is beyond that. It's for all of us together. And we must be poised and stay focused. That is very, very important. Don't isolate one date. One date on the calendar doesn't mean anything. It's just an event.
People are already talking about your administration and what it will look like. Can you give us a glimpse into what you have in plan?
I can't. I've not consulted people yet. And I mean, administration, you said, is not run alone. You don't govern alone. You govern with people. You consult. Assemble. And then hit the ground running. And it's the same country, right? Isn't it? So,
thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's laughable. It is.
Thank you very much. So, you had it, Godwin. You had it. What happened was there was those little flops and checks, to make people see what's happening. And but the man said, before you speak, the man said, "I'm Hale and Hearty." He assured his supporters right there in Abuja, and he did something also we will talk about much later after analyzing his comeback. He did something very interesting, very, very interesting. Yesterday, I saw that and I was laughing. So, Dr. Godwin, tell us what's your view on his comeback? How do you see all this?
When I first saw the video, it came with the caption "Grab your popcorn." So I grabbed my popcorn and I watched the video, and I can say I enjoyed my popcorn. So that caption was nice. But anyway, let's try to play the devil's advocate a little bit, right? Now, what is going on in the Labour Party? APC is clear, yeah? What is going on in the Labour Party? Playing the devil's advocate, it's actually terrible. Because a lot of people are actually saying if Peter Obi can't get his, backyard in check, is it the whole country he'll be able to control? Especially with the more vested interest from all, geopolitical regions. If whatever interest you're fighting with or grappling with in Labour Party, imagine Nigeria, the amount of interest you're dealing with as the president of Nigeria. It doesn't tell so good that his backyard is we're always having to hear these things from Labour Party and all of that. Nobody outside of Labour Party cares what is going on. I mean, why? We just only care that there should be some kind of decorum and they should get their acts together and compete fairly. If they believe like there was some selection rather than election, then in one voice, take it to court and go forward with the case. But all these things don't really play well into the both, the eyes of the public and even, the mindset, the public support, even the court of public opinion, right? And also, usually they say like, if we have a common enemy, then we are friends. But when greed is concerned in Nigeria, there's nothing like that. Even you can have both common enemy and different friends, common enemies. You can go anywhere, you can go anyhow, as long as greed is involved. Even there's, like Sir George said, integrity for what? So we are seeing this kind of attitude. We can see that the main problem with Nigeria, it's not the choice of the presidential candidate, but the mindset of the citizens, and also the suffering of the citizens is wide, and also the mindset of trying, to overcome the poverty. So greed. So it tells a lot just the presidential mindset of many politicians and people who are even supposed to vote in the right candidate. So I hope that Nigerians over this short-sightedness, because whatever they have been given will only last them for a while, but a good country and their generations for a very, very long time. So I hope that Nigerians will eventually come out of this short-sightedness and look, farther than just a few paychecks.
Nigeria will come out of this short-sightedness and look far. So, Sir George, I mean, you saw the video too. You saw the man, the president-elect. We don't know which one to tag with it, but we all saw that video, and I know you have your views on that. Well, one thing I noticed is he's looking, looking refreshed. Do you guys agree? He looks
well,
fresh.
he's looking. I just hope. I just pray and hope that the issue is not part of what is, his health, because he looks fluffy. That's what I call him. He looks very fluffy and looks well rested, but Nigeria is going from frying pan to fire. At least Buhari is a little coherent. He could think and make statements sometimes. But what we're seeing here, I don't know, my people. I love my country, Nigeria. I want Nigeria. Okay, he's saying, what does your government look like? He said, I have not consulted. So how many days after the election, you've not consulted with the people that you want to be in your cabinet? You've not actually sat down to discuss how the nation will be governed, how to attack the situation, the ongoing saga in the country, in economy, in insecurity. You've not consulted. So it kind of places us in a state of quandary. We don't know. We are at a strategic inflection point here. We don't know what to do. Can we accept, okay, Buhari was saying, every time he talks about how many months he was in court, and there's a reason why he's saying that. The reason why Buhari was saying that is simply because he said until technology did not deliver you, our beloved President Buhari. What delivered you was when we know that the then Obama Secretary General came to see you and Ahmed our current president-elect. You guys sat down for 6 hours and you were assured of taking over the mantle for the nation. So we know what happened, and the public does not know. But we that are in the intelligentsia, we know what happened. So the mantle was given to you. It was still selection. It wasn't election in your era. And that's the reason why Ahmed Tinubu will come out boldly and say, it is my turn. Because he helped you write the election 8 years ago. I helped you to write the election 4 years ago. So with that kind of knowledge, and why would you want to disenfranchise him? To him, he's like, no, it's my turn. So that's the reason. We know the truth of what happened. So in essence, really, I pray for my country, Nigeria. I pray for my country, Nigeria.
Pray for our country, Nigeria. BD, added to that, his return. Yesterday, we saw an invitation letter to Peter Obi to his inauguration and on May 29. Did you see that invitation? I think we have it here in the studio. An invitation to the LP presidential candidate, and it says he gives him his seat. It has his seat number to it also. What did you see that? Did you see?
Yes. I saw it. Giving him seat number.
Yes, I saw that.
During the Abacha, we heard that Abacha was given an apple. This one, they are inviting him with a seat number well reserved for him. I hope we are safe. Well, going back to the video we watch, our president select or elect, Muhammadu Buhari, the one the INEC has enforced under our throat, he came back refreshed, and that was a great one. They say, there's a way they used to say, what does not exist does not happen in Nigeria. I remember, I've forgotten the way they say it. He said he left with flat tummy and he came back with a protruding tummy, so refreshed. You understand? So I don't know, maybe we should call it an hand. He left with flat tummy and came back with a protruding tummy. I don't know if we should say it's an achievement. He's so refreshed. Well, the one is that I am happy that my brother, my father is alive. That one is on one hand. He came back. But I wish that he would come back and go and rest more because he needs it. His health is more important to us than this thing he's dragging. Having said that, the video they asked him, he said he needs to consult. So, and Nigerians are getting upset. Why are we upset? This is still APC in power. You remember after Buhari election in 2015, it took him almost 6 months. Almost before he did some selection and some appointments. Are we not in this country?
We are running out of time, gentlemen. Please, Dr. Godwin, yes, you have anything on that, on the invitation, on the whole return, this whole thing we're saying, causing so much also opera on social media. Mouths are wangling, people are talking. What do you have there?
Well, it's not for me to decide for him. He can decide. His Excellency Peter Obi can decide to go or not. I also hope the invitation is real and not fake, because a lot of things are photoshopped these days. But yeah, we are looking forward to a election, selection, or whatever you call it, to play out both in court and let us know what really went on and get over with it, because the country is much more important than election cycle and other.
Thank you very much. So
going for that invite.
Let me give you.
Can I say something?
30 seconds. Yes, say something. 30 seconds.
Going for that invite, meaning that he has nullified his case in the courts.
Okay. George, you agree with that?
Well, Peter Obi is a very wise man, and believe me, he knows what to do and he will do the right thing. That's all I can say.
Peter Obi is a very wise man. He knows what to do and he'll do the right thing. Great people, thank you very much for coming out to put us abreast with occurrence in Nigeria in our today's program, SSM News Echo for Global Africa. Thank you very much, Sir George from Toronto. Thank you very much, BD from Lagos, and my great friend, Dr. Godwin from Russia. Thank you all. It's been wonderful. We are following all these things from your different corners. You're putting it together. It's not an easy task to do, but you're doing it for the benefit of our viewers, Nigerians also scattered around the world. So till we come your way next Friday, it will be our international version. And till then, on behalf of the News Echo team, I want to say have a beautiful midweek and enjoy your Wednesday. Wednesday is a beautiful day of the part of the day week. So enjoy your Wednesday, and we'll see you next Friday by the grace of God. Thank you. Bye-bye.